Right, good evening, guys. So, we're starting to discuss the model paper 8, part 1, right? So, we are getting closer. I think it's less than 10 days now, right? And I'm not really feeling well, but I thought to do the class just to discuss a few things, huh? So, we'll complete as fast as possible, and we'll let you continue do studying, right? Right, so come to the question number 1. The microorganisms most commonly used in human insulin hormone production using genetic technology is actually Escherichia coli, right? As you can remember, we discussed this under the uh, recombinant DNA technology. So under the recombinant DNA technology, Escherichia coli is the bacteria used to receive the recombinant DNA, right? Because they are fast growing and resistant, right? Escherichia coli. Which of the following is not a characteristic observed in tropical wet evergreen forest? So out of those, a clear stratification, right? A clear stratification can be seen. Which of the following is not a characteristic? Not a characteristic observed in tropical wet evergreen forest, so Singaraja, Carnelia sort of forest, right? So out of those, a clear stratification can be observed. Yeah, so if it is like Singaraja, yes, clear stratification can be observed. Presence of plants with similar diameter trunks, sure, because they get the rainfall every day, and they grow faster, so they have more sapwood than the hardwood, and the plants grow gradually faster, and because of that, they have stems with equal radiuses, like, and they are very straight in stem, right? Presence of plants with similar diameter trunks, sure, that is correct. Stems of plants showing a garnered or twisted nature. Now the twisted nature is there in mountain forests. Because of the wind, they twist and they show a twisted trunk. So it's probably the correct answer that. So presence of rainfall distributed throughout the year, that is true. Plant diversity is very high, that is true. So the answer should be 3, right? Answer should be 3. Right. Come to the third question. Consider the following statements regarding tissue culture. Callus is an undifferentiated mass of cells capable of dividing repeatedly from an explant. That is true, right? Callus is undifferentiated. So they are basically meristematic cells, right? Undifferentiated mass of cells capable of dividing repeatedly from explants. That is true. So callus is like clump of cells you take from different places of the plant. So you take those clump of cells, which is a callus, and you grow it in a culture medium. Depending on the hormones and the conditions that you give, they will grow into different things. If you want to grow the roots, if you want to grow the stem, depending on your requirement, you can do many things about the callus, right? B. Ethylene hormones is directly used in tissue culture. Ethylene is of course used, but ethylene is mostly used as a fruit ripener, because the fruit ripening hormone is actually the ethylene. So you don't directly use it in tissue culture. Mainly gibberellin and cytokinin, even abscisic sort of hormones are used. Auxin and cytokinin. Auxin and cytokinin are the mostly used, right? Auxin and cytokinin are the mostly used. So ethylene hormone is not much directly used in tissue culture because it's fruit ripening hormone. See, obtaining a large number of plantlets from a small space is an advantage of tissue culture. That is true. You can obtain large number of plants from a small space. That is very true. So answer should be A and C. A and C. Only A and C are true answer. 4. Answer 4 is correct. Fourth question, coke cambium is formed when cortical cells regain the ability to divide. As new tissues are added like this over several years, the stem increase significantly in girth. Which of the following does not occur during this process? So in the production, in the formation of coke cambium, so one that happens once the uh, uh, this the at the beginning, uh, there are few of the cambiums, like there are few of the cambiums that are forming. There are interfascicular cambium, intrafascicular cambium, and the intrafascicular and interfascicular cambium together is forming so interfascicular and interfascicular cambium together is forming not the, so things don't come to my mind. The vascular cambium, of course. But interfascicular and intrafascicular cambium together is forming vascular cambium. So vascular cambium is the beginning of the secondary growth, and in the beginning of the secondary growth, they divide cells inward and outward. Inward cells are the secondary xylems, outward cells are the secondary phloems, and they make inward cells or the secondary xylems rapidly than the outward xylems or the phloems. So there will be a pressure accumulated in the center of the stem, and there like because of that, the diameter of the trunk will be increasing, and that's how the heartwood is mostly formed. And after a while, then there's this cell layer in the cork is converted into coke cambium, right? There's this cell layer of coke converting into coke cambium, and they are producing they are dividing two of the cell layers, like inward and outward. Outward is the dead coke, then inward is the cortex, right? Inward is the cortex. So right, so that knowledge should be there, right? So not occurring this process, thickening of the bark, of course that happens. Formation of lenticels. Lenticles are also formed during that, right? During that, the lenticles are also formed. So even that is correct. Formation of annual rings in stem wood of plant in temperature countries, that is true. Separation of heartwood and sapwood, yeah, the heartwood is formed mostly because of that. Formation of intrafascicular cambium happens before this, right? Interfascicular cambium happens at the very beginning of the secondary growth. Now, after the formation of interfascicular cambium, intrafascicular cambium, and the vascular cambium, after a while, the coke cambium is produced. So this is wrong, right? That is wrong. So mineralization of plant and animal parts occurs in the environment. Mineralization needs process of breaking down complex organic compounds into simple organic substances. Well, there is some also can be taken, but it's not up to mineralization, because the minerals are much more simpler forms than the organic substances, right? Right. So because minerals are not organic substances, because minerals are basically inorganic substances, and when it's mineralizing, it breaks further down into minerals, right? So the second one, process of providing organic matter to the soil after chemical weathering of soil. Well, it's still not the organic matter, right? Still not the organic matter. Supplying mineral nutrients to the soil through rock weathering. Okay, supplying mineral nutrients. So this is somewhat okay to the soil through, it's not through the rock weathering all the time, right? The mineralization doesn't happen all the time with the rock weathering. That could happen with the organic matter breaking into the mineral level as well. So let's keep it, right? Breaking down complex organic compounds into simple inorganic compounds by maintaining microbial activity at an optimal level, right? Breaking down complex organic compounds into simple inorganic compounds. Now this is okay, right? Breaking down complex organic compounds, right? Complex organic compounds into simple inorganic compounds by maintaining microbial activity, and this is also correct, by maintaining microbial activity at a optimum level. So that is somewhat more true. Process of providing organic matter to the soil after physical weathering of parent rock. It's not just only the rock, right? So this could be true, right? Most probable answer is 4, right? Most probable answer is 4. 6-1. Right. So an energy profile diagram relevant to multi-step chemical reaction is shown in the figure. Below, E1 and E2 represent the activation energy values relevant to the first step and second step, right? Energy of the reactants and the intermediate product, and then the products are there. So they have 2 different active energies for the intermediate products, and before products there are 2 of the activation energies, because there is one intermediate product as well, right? So respectively, which of the following statement is true regarding the above diagram? The reaction is exothermic and the rate determining step is the first step. So as you see, the reaction is exothermic. It's actually not, right? Reaction is not exothermic. How do you tell if it is exothermic or not? By looking at the energy levels of reactants and products. If you look at the energy levels of the reactants and the products, energy level of reactant is low, energy level of the product is high, right? What do you understand by that? This is endothermic, because when the reaction occurs, energy has absorbed in, therefore the product's energy is more than the reactant's energy. So it's an endothermic reaction, right? It's endo, like they have absorbed energy, therefore the product energy is more, reactant energy is less. So it's not exothermic, therefore it's wrong. Second answer, the reaction is exothermic and the rate determining step is the second step. The reaction is exothermic, no. Third one, reaction endothermic, okay. The rate determining step is the first step. Now you have to think about the rate determination. So always the rate determination step is the slowest one. Yes, rate determination step is just the slowest reaction. So out of these 2, which one is the slowest? E1 or E2? Which one is the slowest? If something is slower, then it has to have a greater barrier, isn't it? If there's a greater barrier, then it'll be slower. So out of E1 and E2, E1 supposed to be slower, isn't it? E1 supposed to be slower. So it's E1, right? It's E1. It should be E1, which is slower. Slower the reaction, the slowest reaction actually determines the rate of reaction. So what I meant to say is, higher the activation energy, slower the reaction. I hope you understand, because there are few of the things that affects the rate of reaction, right? And one of the thing is like out of 3 of the things that is must to have there is a must to occur and a reaction is there are 3 of the factors that that should be there or must to have to occur a reaction. One is the collision, the orientation and the activation energy. So out of that, activation energy is here. So higher the activation energy, lower the rate of reaction. So this goes with the enzyme, right? That goes with the enzyme. If there's enzymes or catalysts there, you can reduce the activation energy and increase the rate of reaction, right? So it goes with two of the things they are linking. One of the thing is the factors that are required for a reaction to occur. Those are the three things: collision, orientation, and the catalyst. So I'm telling it in short, should write it in the extended manner, right? And the other thing is what? The factors affecting the rate of reaction, right? Temperature, concentration, nature of the reactants, and then the presence of catalyst. So out of those four, in the first one, activation energy, and in the second one, the presence of catalyst are somewhat connected. We can connectively discuss about it when it comes to the rate of reaction. So because of the higher activation energy, the rate of reaction is slower. Therefore, it is the slowest reaction in a reaction is the rate determining step as well. So the answer should be 3. Answer should be 3. Right. Right. 7. Phosphate fertilizer. Right. 7th question. Phosphate fertilizer obtained by complete acidulation are called superphosphates. Sure, yes, it is. What should be added to reduce their hygroscopic nature caused by calcium ions? So to reduce the hygroscopic nature, there are few of the things that you do, right? To reduce the hygroscopic nature of calcium ions, either you put aluminium salts, so that calcium and the salt will make a precipitate and get rid of it, right? Oh, you don't put nitric acid, no. Serpentine, no. Sulfur, no. Should be reacted with sodium carbonate. Even calcium carbonate can get deposited if you reacted with sodium carbonate. So it's either 3 or 4, right? It's either 3 or 4. Aluminium salts can be mostly used if you want to precipitate it. It'll be easier. So even the most correct answer should be 3, even should be 4, even 3 can be correct, right? Even 3 can be correct. Right, let's go to the 8th question. Soap is a product of saponification, which is a chemical reaction. Some processes thought to occur during soap production are given below. Which of them is correct? Damage to delicate tissue of skin and eye can be minimized by neutralizing using caustic soda. So damage to delicate tissue of skin and eye can be minimized by minimized by neutralizing caustic soda, not using caustic soda, right? So if you know neutralize the caustic soda, that is excess, you can actually minimize this irritation and all, right? But not by using caustic soda, that is wrong. Second answer, glutamic acid can be obtained as a byproduct. Glutamic acid can be obtained as a byproduct. Hold on. In the soap production, no, not the glutamic acid. Glutamic acid is one of amino acid, right? That is also wrong. So this is wrong. So glycerin is a byproduct, right? Caustic soda can be neutralized using an acid like, bro, you don't put nitric acid here, right? Because if nitric acid were excess, that's another disaster, right? The acid you put actually is the citric, mostly the citric, the citrus type of a plant. You don't put even vinegar. Vinegar is smelly. So citric is fine. Even citric smells good, right? Yeah. So not nitric anyways. No. Unwanted water can be removed from wet soap by subjecting it to high pressure. Well, unwanted water can be removed from wet soap by subjecting it to high pressure. Okay, this is not high pressure, it's actually centrifugation, By applying it to the centrifugation, you can actually remove excess water. That is somewhat true, but not high pressure. We'll keep it though, right? Because if you applied high pressure, there can be mass separation, like different masses can break into separate layers if you applied the pressure. Think about it. But what you use actually is the centrifugation. You rotate it so the masses uh, break into different layers. We'll keep it. Glycerin can be removed from soap by centrifugation. Of course you can, because if you do centrifugation, they will separate into layers depending on their masses. So fifth is more correct than the fourth, so answer should be 5, right? I'll take the answer 5. Yeah, so ninth question, right? Okay. Ninth question, in the production of goods using polymers, fillers and additives are used to reduce product cost and increase quality, right? In production of goods using polymers, fillers and additives are used to reduce product cost and increase quality. Sure. Fillers are used and additives are used to produce the product cost, of course, and increase quality. Yes, an additive that increase flexibility among the flexibility, right? So basically, flexibility is the plasticity. So of course, plasticizes. Even polystyrene is a plasticizer sort of. Talc is not. Talc is like something like clay. It'll break. Carbon black is like likewise. Barytes. I don't even know what baryte is, but it's compared to the other two answers, 2 and 5. This is more direct, right? It's plasticizer, of course. So you can use a plasticizer to make it more flexible. 10. In solvent extraction of secondary metabolites, right? In solvent extraction of secondary metabolites, if the solubility of the secondary metabolite in the solvent is very low, in solvent extraction of secondary metabolites, right? Secondary metabolites, if the solubility of the secondary metabolite in solvent is very low, okay, what should be done in such situation? So if the solubility is low, you can mix with different solvents to make the solubility more. Expression pressing using oil should be done. Hold on. A Soxhlet extraction should be used. Okay. The solubility in the solvent is low, but you still want to do the extraction. Okay. So expression using oil will be done. Not really. Soxhlet extraction should be used. So in Soxhlet extraction, the solvent keeps running. It keeps cycling. If you can remember, it moves through the siphon arm and returns to the solvent flask, and then again moves through the siphon arm, then again comes back. Likewise, it's cycling. So the secondary metabolite actually is reacting with the solvent for many of the times if you use the Soxhlet. So of course, if the secondary metabolite is less soluble, one of a very good extraction method is using Soxhlet extraction. So we'll keep it. Third one, a Liebig condenser should be used. So Liebig condenser is there to condense the vapor, right? Is there to condense the vapor. So it's not much related. Okay, it's not the answer. Another solvent should be used. That is also can be done, because if you mixed another solvent, that might improve the solubility of the secondary metabolite, because maybe because of the polarity difference it's not dissolving. So you add another solvent, you make a solvent mixture that is more dissolving than before. can be done. So two of the things are there. Distillation should be carried out. Well, if it is to distillate, that's a different thing, you know. If it is distillable, then you can distillate it. If it is not very distillable, it's not very volatile, then it's gonna be hard. So two of the answers are there. Either you have to use oxalate extraction or add another solvent. Another solvent should be used. Yeah, you can even use another solvent that is more soluble. In solvent extraction of secondary metabolites, if the solubility of the secondary metabolite in the solvent is very low, what should be done in such situations? You can do either 2O4, can do any of it, right? So the next one. Which of the following is not an important of obtaining a patent license at that grants an inventor exclusive rights to their new invention, right? So encouraging new creation invention, that is true. Not the importance, right? So this is an important. So we had find not one. So I'm ticking like if it is important. So we had find what is not important. Encouraging newer creations, inventions, true. Recognizing creativity of the new inventors, true. Subjecting the new invention to industrialization, you can do that, right? Can do that. Securing the right to receive benefit from the new invention, of course. Disclosing new technological information to researchers, investors, and the business community, of course, true. So they're asking now, which of the following is not an importance, right, of obtaining patent license that grants an inventor exclusive rights to their new invention. Okay, so they all seems to be right. This following is not the importance of obtaining patent. Exclusive rights to their new invention. So encouraging new creations, of course, happens. Recognizing the creativity happens. Subjecting the new invention to industrialization, if the inventor wants, of course, he can sell it, or he can start his own industry. So, securing the right to receive benefits from the new invention, of course, he has the right by selling it or by renting it or starting his own business. 5. Disclosing new technological information to researchers, investors, and the business community after he gets the benefit out of it. And for the researchers and investors, of course, yeah, they're supposed to give the information, but they can't make it. That's the thing. They can't make it by their own self. They can't just make it by their own self. Just they have to buy it from the investor. So out of this, like all 5 seems to be correct. So I don't know if all the 5 seems to be correct, but recognizing the creativity of the inventor. Okay. Investors and the business community. So out of these, 5 and 3 seems to be not very related. They are of course related, but not very related. Subjecting to the new invention to industrialization. Subjecting the new invention to industrialization. You can do that if you want, right? And disclosing new technology information to, of course, for the researchers, that is true. And even for the investors, that's okay. And to the business community, so they all seems to be correct. Either it's 3 or 5. Right? Either it's 3 or 5. Which of the following is not a main compound belonging to essential oils, which are volatile, organic, and volatile organic and that do not mix with water and are extracted from plants. Okay. So eugenol is a essential oil extract. Cinnamon is benzyl acetate. We have to think citronelle, of course, citral. So answer should be 5, right? 12th one, answer should be 5 because benzyl acetate is a chemical, right? It's more of a chemical. 13. Right. Question number 13. Regarding the compounds formed by the combination of one glycerol molecule and 3 myristic acid molecules, which of the following statement are incorrect? Right. So 1 glycerol molecule and 3 myristic acid molecules. So anyways, they are carboxylic acids, but Lorimeris palm, we discussed lauric acid, myristic and palmitic acid are saturated ones, and linoleic and linoleic acids are non-saturated. So which of the following statement is or incorrect? Ester bonds are present, of course, between the glycerol and between these carboxylic acids or fatty acids. Of course, there's an ester bond. It is a polymer. No, lipids are not polymers. Wrong. It exists as a solid at room temperature. That comes from this saturated, non-saturated thing, right? Saturated, non-saturated thing. So it's non-saturated, right? It's non-saturated. Myristic is like Lorimeris palm are non-saturated, right? Try to remember that. Lorimeris palm, lauric, myristic and palmitic are non-saturated. Linoleic, linolenic are saturated, right? Linoleic, linolenic are saturated. Lauric, myristic, palmitic are non-saturated. So because they are non-saturated, they are oils than fats, right? So they don't remain as solid at room temperature. Wrong. Carbon-carbon double bonds are present between the carbon atoms. So if they are non-saturated, double bond should be there. So A and D. A and D, A and D, A and D. So hold on. So it's up to this Lorimeris palm scene, lauric acid. Let's check if lauric acid is, myristic acid. Myristic acid saturated or unsaturated. Okay. Myristic is a saturated fatty acid. Oh, okay. So it's of course solid. So things change now. So remember this way. Lorimeris palm, saturated. How do you remember that? Lorimeris palm, saturated. Lorimeris palm. Lorimeris palm. So lori with meris and palm is saturated. So it's full of meris and palm. So saturated. Let's take it that way. So lorimeris palm is saturated. Lorimeris palm is lauric, myristic, and palmitic. And there's two other, linoleic and linolenic. They are unsaturated because they live separately, right? Linoleic and linolenic, they are not saturated. They are not in a lorry, so not saturated. So if it is Lorimeris palm, myristic is including there, so it's saturated in the lorry. So it's of course, if it is saturated, then it's a fat. then exists as a solid in the room temperature is correct. And carbon-carbon double bonds are absent. So answer should be A and C. A and C. A and C. Right. Okay. 14. Select the correct statement. Statements regarding enzymes. All enzymes are proteins. Of course, all the enzymes are proteins. All enzymes are globular. Well, doesn't have to be globular all the time, but the globular ones are soluble in water. That's one point. So, because they should be soluble in the water, we can take this for now. Just keep it for now. All enzymes dissolve in water. They're supposed to. All enzymes catalyze reactions only within the temperature range of 0 to 30. No, it goes up to 37, 40, right? It mostly starts to denature after 40. So the range was like 0 to 40. This is wrong. So out of this, if all the enzymes are globular, they are of course water soluble. And they should be water soluble because they stay inside the cell and they live inside the plasma. So ABC only. ABC. Yeah, so ABC. Right. Should be ABC. But there's no direct statement saying that all enzymes are globular. But they should be soluble. All the globular proteins are soluble in water. That is there. So yeah, ABC. I'll take it that way. In a person with complications related to the weakening of teeth and eyes, is deficiency of which of the following vitamins? So weakening of teeth is vitamin D mostly, right? Weakening of teeth and eye is A. So have they given 2 or 1? I have given only 1, right? Okay. So if it is teeth, it's D, because D is improving the calcium and the phosphate absorbency. But the eye, vitamin D deficiency symptoms: tiredness, bone pain, muscle weakness, aches and cramps, low mood, hair loss, slow healing. So there is no eye given as an issue. If it is vitamin A, then it's related to eye, of course. So vitamin D and A both should be there, right? Person with complication related to the weakening of teeth and eyes. Teeth is D, eyes is A. When it comes to the night blindness. So either it's, let's say, vitamin D on eye. Okay. So yeah, we can take 4. Vitamin D has a bit of effect on eyes as well. So you can take 4. Right. If X kilojoules of heat energy is generated when 26 grams of C2H2 compound is burned, the heat of reaction corresponding to the combustion reaction of C2H2 is. So okay. So C2H2, right? C2H2 combusting with oxygen is producing carbon dioxide plus water, right? Right, this is how it happens. And So they're asking when the 26 is reacted, this much x kilojoules of energy is produced. They're asking if the standard heat of reaction, that is per mole, I guess. Okay, so C2H2 molar mass is 12 into 2 plus 1 into 2, right? C2H2, that is 26 grams per mole. So of course it's the same molar mass. So molar mass of a gram has burnt or combusted, which means it's 1 mole has combusted, right? So the heat of reaction or standard heat of reaction is how much of energy is produced per 1 mole. So this is 1 mole, 26 grams. It's of course then x kilojoules, right? X kilojoules, that is correct. 17, right? Question number 17. Select the correct statement regarding global environmental issues. Global environmental issues. Gases like sulfur dioxide, NO2 directly contribute to the depletion of the ozone layer. No. It's mostly the free radicals and the gases which are used as coolants in the refrigerators and the air conditioners in the late 90s somewhere. So this is wrong. This is basically the gases responsible for the acidic rain. Water vapor also contributes to the global warming. They do not. They do not, right? Water molecules or water vapor does not contribute to the global warming because the amount of water in the atmosphere or amount of water vapor in the atmosphere is a constant, right? It's a constant. So no. 3. Sulfur dioxide gas emitted from motor vehicles exhaust cause photochemical smog. Sulfur dioxide emitted from motor vehicle exhaust cause photochemical smog. Yeah, sulfur dioxide can be one of photochemical smog gases. This is okay. Gases like SO2, NO2 and CO2 contribute to acid rain. SO2, NO2 of course, but not CO2. This is wrong again. Natural gases such as CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, contribute to the greenhouse effect. Natural gases such as CFC, no. CFC is not a natural gas. But they contribute to the greenhouse effect, of course. But not a natural gas, so it's wrong. So out of these 17, 3 can be more accurate, right? 3 is more accurate. So photochemical, like sulfur dioxide is not given directly something that is causing photochemical smog. So out of these, out of these, oh, the first one is of course wrong. It's not affecting the ozone depletion. They're more acidic gases. Water vapor also contributes to global warming. It is not. Vapor water contributes to, no, it does not, right? We discussed it. Sulfur dioxide gas emitted from motor vehicles exhaust cause photochemical smoke. Sulfur dioxide gas emitted from motor vehicle exhaust cause photochemical smoke. Sulfur dioxide is not directly given as photochemical smoke causing gas. It's basically NOx, short chain hydrocarbons, then the PBN, PAN, those sort of chemicals, right? Gases like sulfur dioxide, NO2, and CO2 contribute to acid rain. That is wrong. Natural gases such as CFC. CFC is not a natural gas. So, bro, so much. This all seems to be wrong. So they are really close answers, and they seems to be all wrong. That's the issue. So what could be the very much correct answer? Water vapor also contributes to global warming. So as per the syllabus, even in actual cases, water vapor does not cause global warming. So it seems to be all wrong, including this one. Okay. So it's all. We'll take it as all. The correct statement regarding El Nino and La Nino conditions. So we were discussing this, right? El Nino and La Nino. It's under the environmental chemistry. So Adi said classic, hello, classic. So 18.3. The correct statement regarding El Nino and La Nino is this phenomenon occurs due to a process of surface temperature increased or decrease in the Pacific Ocean. That is true. Changes in wind pattern occur due to this condition. Yes. The condition affects the successfulness or failure of crop cultivation. Yes, 40% of the crop cultivation has destroyed because of it. Due to this, severe dry or cold weather conditions can occur. Yes, desertification and really cold weathers can occur. This condition causes wildfires in nearby lands. It's not directly said. So it's ABCD, right? It's ABCD. Third answer, right? Okay, let's come to this one. So shown in the figure below is a diagram of washer plate. According to the measurements given here, the area of the washer plate is equal to R1 is outer radius and R2 is the inner radius, a right triangle with the hypotenuse R1, legs 15 and R2. Okay. The area of the washer plate. So washer plate area is the inner surface area minus outer surface area, right? So Okay, a triangle is given. So if you know the values of R1 and R2, you can easily find all that you need. So R1 and R2. So we don't know any of the angles here. R1 is outer radius, R2 is the inner radius. A right triangle with the hypotenuse R1 and legs R and R2. Right. So anyways, the washer plate area should be 5R1 square minus 5R2 square. This difference will give you the area of the washer. So R1 and R2 values aren't directly given. So you have to take it somehow. So we don't know any of the angles. So can't directly even put sine cos tans here as well. Just hold on for a second. Okay. Right. So as per the Pythagoras law, R1, sorry, R2 square plus R1 square should equal to 15 square, right? So sorry, it's the other way around. R2 square plus 15 square should equal to R1 square, right? So if we isolated 15 square, that will be R2 square minus R1 square equals 15 square. So we can isolate it from here, right? So 5 are even. So if we take out the 5, that is R1 square minus R2 square left, right? That is the area. So R1, R2 square, it should be the other way around, isn't it? R2 square plus R1 square. So yeah, this should be R1 square minus R2 square, because if you take the R2 to the other side, that's R1 minus R2, right? It should be R1 minus R2, exactly like this. So R1 square minus R2 square is 15 square. So 5 into 15 square equals A. So 15 square is 225. So area is 225. 5. So the answer is 4, right? Right. A hemisphere vessel with an internal diameter of 36 centimeters is full of liquid. So hemisphere vessel is there. So this is a hemisphere, right? Diameter 36. So its diameter is 36. Here it's 36, right? Centimeters is full of liquid. So this is full of liquid, right? It's full of liquid, right? So this is full of liquid, right? This amount of liquid is filled into 72 cylinder vessels with a diameter of 6 centimeters. So this is filled into, this is filled into cylinders with diameter 6 centimeters, right? This is filled into 6 centimeter diameter cylinders. I have filled it to 72, right? 72 cylinders with a diameter of 6 centimeters. If the 10% of the liquid is wasted, out of this 10% is wasted during this transfer, find the height of one cylindrical vessel. So if we directly converted the volume of the hemisphere, it's the total volume of a sphere is 3/4, right? This much, 4/3, right? Pi r cube. So half of it will be 2/3, right? Because it's a hemisphere, right? Half of it will be 2/3 pi r cube, and 10% is wasted, so only 90% is left, right? 90% is left. This is the volume left. Out of this, 10% is wasted, so this is the volume left. Is now equal to 72 cylinder volume up to some sort of a height. So 5r square h into 72, right? 5r square h into 72. So shall I bring it to the whiteboard? Right. It's 2/3 pi r cube and 10% is wasted, so 90% is left. This volume is equal to pi r square h height into 72 cylinders. So you are asking the height which is filled, right? They are asking for the height which is filled. So you have to know the radiuses. So radius of this is 18. To solve the answers are simplified. Yes, 2/3 pi is then 22/7. Radius is 18 into 18 into 18, because it's 36, right? And they're all centimeters. 90 divided by 100 equals 22/7. The radius of the cylinder is what? 6. Yeah, so the radius is 3 into 3 into h into 72 cylinders. So you have to simplify h. So 1/7 to 1/7 cancels out. 1/3 to 3 of the 18s are there. 3 times 6, and again 3 times 2. Okay, 22 to 22 cancels out. Then again 3 times 1, 3 times 6 is 72 divided by 18. 72 divided by 18. 72 divided by 18. Yeah, directly. 18 times 1, 18 times 4, 4 times 1, sorry, 4 times 2. No, we can cancel out these two. 4 times 1, 4 to 4 cancels out. So what is left here now? There's nothing left there, it's only h. So here it's 690 divided by 100. That will be 9 times 5 is 45, 54, 5.4 centimeters, right? Because we took all in centimeters. Yeah, 5.4 centimeters. Answer 2. 5.4 centimeters. Answer 2. Right. Answer 2. Right. 21. The layout of a canopy prepared by student for a house at school inter-house sport meet is shown in the figure. An equilateral triangle is positioned in the middle of the canopy, and semicircular decorations made with the various colorful floral leaves are arranged along the base. The shaded outer region is covered with woven coconut leaves into a circular shape. Okay, what is the area covered by the coconut leaves? So basically, the radius seems to be 4, right? So 5r square minus, just have to find one of a side length, right? And if this is 4, it's 120. So if this is 4, this is supposed to be 4 as well. And this is supposed to be 4 as well, because they are all radiuses. And they are isosceles triangles. So they are all 4, right? So you can easily find the area of a one triangle because the angle is 120. So 5r square minus half AB sine C, that is 4 into 4 AB sine 120 is 0.5, because 180 minus 120 is sine 160. So if it is obtuse angle, the obtuse angle equals 180 minus theta. So 180 minus 120 is 60, right? So sine 60 is root 3 over 2. So yeah, root 3 over 2. I'm sorry. So it's right, root 3 over 2. If it is cos, then it's a different case. Yeah, so root 3 over 2. Now this is the area of one triangle, and this time 3 are there. So if I simplify this, radius is 4. 5 isn't simplified, so 4 square minus 1 over 2. We can cancel it inside, right? Yeah, so there's no addition, so you can easily cancel. If there was addition, you can just cancel because you had multiplied by 3 and cancel it. So you can directly cancel this now. So it's 2 into 4 into sine 120 is root 3 over 2, because sine 120 is sine 60, right? Times 3. Okay. So this is 16.5 right? 16.5 minus, if you multiply it by 3, 6 into 12 into 3 root 3 divided by 2. So any of the common factors to take out? Can take 4 out. That will be 4 times 5 minus 6 into 4 into root 3 over, sorry, 6 into not 4. If you take 4 out, that will be 3. 3 into 3 root 3 divided by 2. So you can simplify this one, right? This is 3. So that will be 4 times 4, 5 minus 3 into 3 is 9. 9 into 3 is 27. So it's 27 root 3 sort of answer. Right. So the answer is supposed to be something related to this, and we're going out of the time, so we'll wind up here for today. I'll continue this, right? In an hour I get, like, I'll continue this, and we'll discuss from here forward. Okay. So answer for this 21. Answer 5 is given. So we were close, but instead of 3 we got 27. So maybe a simplification error. We just have to check. So check for, please do it for me. And if there's any of a correction, just tell me. Right. So shall we wind off for today? I'll continue the rest in another day, soon. Anyways, the answers are there. So check with the answers, and if you have any of the confusions, call me. Let's discuss and finish it. Right. That's how we do. And soon I'll have to give you a farewell, right? And we'll meet soon. 26 people. I'll tell you. And so sort of like a small gift will be given to you. I'll tell you, right? So please come on that day for maybe few of the hours, right? I'll do something important on that day as well. And do study well, do good. And if you have any of the troubles, just call me, hit me. I'm there. I see you all, guys. Peace.